Buenas noches, mi gente. Buenas noches, familia y fanáticos de PBA en español. Encantado de estar esta noche con ustedes en un episodio más, un episodio bien interesante porque estamos cerca de los playoffs. Esta noche tenemos invitados especiales de la elite de la PBA. Vamos a hablar un poquito de lo que se avecina en los playoffs. Vamos a hablar un poco también de los diferentes matchups que vamos a tener. Pero bueno, sin más demora, démosle la bienvenida a el gran Gene Vinson y a Tyler Mitchell. Gene Vinson de los Rangers y Tyler Mitchell de los Carolina Padres. Guys, how you?
Good. Doing well. Trying to get a couple more.
Yes, sir. Fanático, tenemos Tyler Mitchell de los 3 veces campeones Carolina Padres. Tyler ha sido 2 veces el líder en home run. Tyler, so I'm just telling the fans you are a 3-time champion and a 2-time home run derby champion from the league. So welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. We also have Gene Vinson. Gene Vinson, ever since he came to the league, I would say is probably the pitcher with the most innings, a hardworking pitcher that doesn't do anything but winning every time he gets the baseball. And probably the most famous move in the waiver wire of all time. Gene Vinson, thanks for being in the show.
Hey, happy to be here. Had a few technical difficulties, but what I caught was pretty flattering. And just grateful for a chance to play ball. Glad there's as many guys excited about as I am to give me a chance to get pieces of paper at the end of the year. I want rings, but I do get pieces of paper.
Jim Vinson es uno de los lanzadores con más episodios lanzados en sus 3 temporadas en la PBA. Este señor cada vez que agarra la bola son 9 innings. Es un hombre que trabaja muy fuerte. Hey guys, congratulations to both of you for winning their respective divisions. I think that's for any team, that's goal number 1, and it was accomplished for both of you. Tyler, let me start with you. When you reflect about this season and how things turned out, and then the Padres still win the division, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great season. Obviously, coming out, winning the division again, it was it was a great feeling. We had to fight through the season a little bit. Had some injuries on our pitching staff and through our lineup. Some of our veteran leaders definitely kind of showed some age this year, I guess. Even some of our young guys, we had some struggles to get through it, but we just played Padre baseball all year, and that got us on top at the end. So looking forward to competing against these guys through the playoffs.
Los Padres ganaron su división por 4ª vez consecutiva. No fue un año fácil, nos dice Tyler que hubieron algunas lesiones. Es un equipo que su averaje de edad ya está un poquito más arriba de los otros equipos. Sin embargo, encontraron la forma para ganar otra división y un equipo que se encuentra listo para los playoffs. Jim, started the season with the Astros after a successful season last year with them. You were last year, but then you finished this season with the Rangers and you find yourself winning the division. Tell us a little bit about your season, starting with the Astros and then making the decision to move to the Rangers.
Well, with the Astros, we certainly had a charm season last year, and my decision to switch teams has nothing to do. There's nothing internal or any of those things that gossip might be fun about. It was just from a purely baseball standpoint. As I kind of roster turnover, teams change, and really just the fact that the PBA provides the opportunity to do that. And a lot of the leagues I've played in, you've been locked into the team that you played with. Well, we have the waiver wire and the opportunity to do that, and it's something that I'd never done before. So, then at that point, when the idea occurred to me, I just started kind of reaching out and, let me just say that I'm happy to play ball with anybody in this league. That's been one of the best things about the league as we push to, make the game better and make a better product, is that the competition and the brotherhood and the friends all across the teams has been great. Um, but with the Rangers, I had some personal connections there. Tyler Bond, me and him won a flag football championship together. Atlee, and then Teddy, I worked with those guys at one point in time. So there's a little bit of already, familiarity there. And it's a little bit too of just, catching lightning in a bottle with that team. My whole life I've played on teams where, we were the scrappy underdogs. I don't that takes a lot. So, obviously, there's a multitude of talented teams. It won't be a shocker who comes out the winner, but it really just came down to what lineup do I just absolutely don't want to face in the playoffs, and all the respect to the other teams, but I don't go 3 pitches versus every batter like I have to versus the Rangers. I mean, just, I'm sure the lefties in this league know that's my vulnerability. And then you throw 8 of those guys at me, and now I'll throw 15 changeups versus them and might throw 10 all year. And so when it came down to it, and wanting to see what I could do with the season, the Rangers just had a lot of appeal. I thought it made for a good story. And that team's having a special year and got a lot of motivation, and I want to be a part of that. And, I'm coat riding to a championship, but I got one.
Yes. Jean empezó su temporada con los Astros, un equipo que llegó de tercero el año pasado. A mitad de la temporada, pues tuvo varias ofertas de los equipos que están en contención para ganar el título. Y bueno, Jean decidió ir para los Rangers y hace este equipo muy peligroso porque es otro brazo que ellos ponen en su rotación de lanzadores. Así que veremos qué pasa. Tyler, you guys obviously at this point don't know who you're facing in that first round. I was doing a show the other night, and it could be the Astros, it could be the West Royals, it could be the Yankees, or it could be the Red Sox. From the Padres standpoint, does it matter who it is, Tyler? Are you guys ready for any of those teams, or there's any team in particular that you rather not face? What are the Padres saying about that?
No, pretty much the consensus on our message board is, we're just going to show up and play Padre baseball, no matter what uniforms in the other dugout. We're going to show up. We're going to throw strikes. We're going to be smart at the plate. See our pitches. That's the message that Nick has given us, that our veterans are giving us. And I think everybody's excited, just to see who's going to come out of that play-in game. There's some good competition that's going to be coming out of that 8 seed. So we need to, we got to be ready for whoever. But there's definitely some teams that could make some waves if we're not ready to play baseball. Anybody in this league could take the Padres on. We understand that, and we know that, and we're ready for that. So, like I said, we're just going to show up. We're going to throw strikes. We're going to field the baseball. And we're gonna get our pitch, and we're gonna hit the baseball. So if we do that, we think we believe we're gonna be successful no matter who the team is.
Los Padres empiezan su defensa del campeonato en 2 semanas. Estarán esperando esta semana a ver el equipo que clasificará como número 8 para enfrentarse a ellos, que son el equipo número 1 en ambas divisiones. Tyler nos dice que ellos están listos para que venga. No va a ser fácil, pero que si ellos juegan el béisbol que juegan los Padres, consistencia en el picheo y cogiendo buenos turnos, no deben tener problemas. Así es que ese es el mensaje que nos da Tyler. Gene, I wanted to get back to you on the playoff run. I mean, you guys know who you're facing. It's not going to be easy. It's a very interesting story. The Braves this year have done a tremendous job. You just came out of a tough series against them where you guys beat them 4-3. I think that was the score in both games. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. That's correct.
Did you have a chance to pitch against those guys this year?
Yeah, I actually faced them my first game in a Rangers uniform. I threw 6, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. Uh, it was a good game. And then, when we came back and played them again in that doubleheader, I actually caught more innings that weekend than I pitched. I could do the Tyler thing, but Rangers in 2. What else am I going to say? Like that's the goal. That's the plan. Braves are a talented team, no doubt about it. You can't sleep on them. They've got a lot of contact. They got a lot of athletes. They've got some speed. Um, so you just got to come out and execute. And that's always the name of the game. It sounds easy when you say it fast, but I feel like we've got a good team. They're a good first round matchup, only in the sense it'll keep us sharp. We can't sleep on it, can't nap on it. Want to come out and win too. So.
Gene, how do you feel as a pitcher knowing that you can go take the baseball and know that in most games you're going to have good run support from that lineup? What type of a difference that makes your approach pitching these games?
Most of our lives, or a lot of us that grew up in smaller areas, we're used to being that guy that had to take the ball and throw 9 innings and please throw a shutout. and so it's kind of different for me with having more of a semi-pro men's league background to come onto a team as complete as they are, in a sense that all of them have a vast amount of very competitive experience. I mean, just the case this weekend with the Astros, I think it was our 6-hole hitter hit a go-ahead grand slam. Then the 7-hole hitter comes up, Teddy, they come up and blast another back-to-back homer. Just having that depth and being able to not press as hard when it's like, okay, what, 1 run, that's not a problem. I don't need to shut out to win this game. Pitch 6 innings, give up 3. That's a good performance. Whereas maybe previously, gosh, you're just like, man, I feel like I blew it because we lost 3-0. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where it changes. It allows you to focus on the smaller details of the game rather than pressing so hard at perfection.
Great point, Gene. Gene nos explica que perteneciendo a un equipo como el de los Rangers, que tal vez tiene la ofensiva más explosiva en esta liga en los últimos 2 años, a él como pitcher abridor le quita muchísima presión porque sabe si él recibe 1 o 2 carreras, ellos tienen la habilidad de anotar mucho por él. Así que él va con una mentalidad de ejecutar su picheo y no se preocupa si le hacen 1 o 2, 3 carreras. En años anteriores, él estaba forzado a no recibir carreras, así que se siente muy bien en eso. Tyler, let me ask you. I know the Padres, they are coming into this playoff not very healthy. Some of their key pieces, they are a little bit hurt from some of their pitchers, some of their key players in the infield. How do you guys overcome that? I mean, you're probably the deepest team in the league, so I know you guys got a lot of players, but some of the pieces that you guys are missing in the first round are key pieces for you guys. What is the message from Nikki and Eric about, people having to step up?
Yeah, no, definitely. We're definitely down a few guys. But again, that's no issue for us. We firmly believe that we're the deepest team in the league. We got a great handful of guys that can step up on the mound, throw strikes for us. Our lineup is unbelievably deep. The good thing about us is, the guys that are hurt, they're veterans. They're leading from the dugout. Roman's the guy, Roman Mercano. He's been doing a great job. He still shows up every day, even though he's a little banged up. Shows up and he's teaching our young guys. Giving them tips in situations. When they're stepping to the plate. Austin Cox is another guy who hasn't been throwing as many innings as he has been in the past. But we got some young arms on our team, and he's coaching them up in the dugout in between innings. Just asking them what they saw. I'm trying to do a little bit of that myself with some of our hitters. Just some of our young hitters, just trying to coach them up in the dugout. That's our biggest thing. Is we got a few veterans that are banged up, but our young guys are really stepping up. William McBee, he's been a staple for us. Ramona Paulino has been another one for us that's been stepping up. So like I said, we're a little banged up, with our veterans, but our young guys are doing a great job stepping up, and they've been doing it all year, so we expect that out of them in the playoffs as well. So.
Sí, Tyler nos explica que hay algunas lesiones muy importantes en los padres, pero que los muchachos jóvenes están haciendo un buen trabajo y los veteranos en la transición, ayudándolos a cada uno. Gene, how do you see that series against the Braves? I mean, I know it's very close. It's the best of three, so there's not so much room for error. And you guys, as far as your role in that series, what is it? I mean, are you going to be, like in previous year, the guy that gets the ball in the most important game, be coming out of the bullpen? Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, the regular season went just like we scripted it, me catching 19 innings. So as far as my role in the series, I'll have my role as a starting pitcher. I've always been a starter. Do sometimes starters come off and as needed, but the plan would be to use me as a starter. In addition to that, in spite of my weak batting, I'm a pretty fast base runner. And also catcher is my second natural position. So I can do that and fill that hole as well. Should someone go down with injury or, get hit with a case of real life and can't make the game that day, I can step up and fill that role. And so that's my plan versus the Braves. Some good things about the games the Rangers played as we added some of these new pieces is that, we got to see how everybody's dynamic contributed to what the Rangers were already doing. And so as we worked through that and figured it out, we put, it's just like the Padres. We're catching everyone's best shot. Nobody has to take our crap. They want to beat us. You know what I mean? So what that's done is it's put some pressure on us and allowed us to look and do some things. And that series against the Astros, I mean, that was probably the three best games that were played almost anywhere. I mean, we were converged on the field. There was strategy. We were doing the small things, and that was good for us as we push towards the playoffs, and that'll help us versus the Braves because they're a very talented team. But if we focus on putting the pressure on them, not ourselves, then I think that's going to be the difference. And what's going to put us out on top is don't put the pressure on ourselves. We're still the Rangers, but we figured out what we needed to in the regular season, and now now's the time. So
now, Dean, I follow you all these years, and I know that, and I might be wrong, but I know that you're a very competitive guy. That when you get the ball, you want to get that baseball and throw 6, 7, 8, 9 innings if possible. That's what I've seen so far. Is that the plan? Jim Vinson going deep in games like that, or is Jim Vinson coming and throw 4 innings, let somebody else come?
No, and that's something that I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. As we were talking backstage, mentioned the cramps and stuff. That's something that I'm learning in my role is that I don't have to do hero ball anymore. That we've got 3 guys behind us that I caught for them this week, and I'm looking at their stuff and I'm like, damn, like, you mean I can just come out here and sling it and then hand it to this guy? That's so now that's definitely is changing up my mentality as I approach not having to face batters that third time. I don't want to face Tyler the third time. He hasn't got a bomb off me yet. I don't want to break that streak. When you're facing guys like Juan is so due against me, it's not funny. I don't want to face him 3 times anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so in those matchups, it allows us to be more strategic. And that's definitely planned. And even, Caleb and Luke, myself, we reminded ourselves that we have new roles now. Do our jobs, and that's starting to mesh really well with everybody else on the team because these Rangers guys, they're familiar with each other. We're the new kids on the block, and I think we learned a lot of that in this series this weekend against the Astros.
Yeah, that's a good point. Jim es un pitcher que está acostumbrado a tirar 7, 8, 9 innings los 3 años que ha tenido en la PBA. Le pregunté que si él está dispuesto a lanzar menos innings porque los Rangers tienen muchos peloteros, pero la química en este equipo es muy buena. Jim está dispuesto a hacer lo que tenga que hacer, lo que el equipo necesite. Tyler Mitchell, I feel like the Padres are a little bit of a different team than other years. And knowing this team really good, I've been part of that team for 2 years. it seems like there's a transition from a team that there was a lot of power in that lineup, mostly when you had Tyler Mitchell and Juan Garcia in a lineup together back to back. Uh, that's a tough lineup to navigate. And then on top of that, you guys had guys like Roman, Sammy Miranda, Austin Cox, Jonah Crenshaw, all of these names that were, power guys. It seems like the approach of the Padres is a little bit different this year. It seems like there's some small ball, and then not as much as depending on the big home run. As a guy that hits so many home runs, how do you approach that? I mean, what is your job in this lineup? I mean, are you still the guy that's hitting home runs, or they're asking you to go backside? Tell us a little bit about that. We lost you, Tyler.
Sorry, I was muted somehow, I guess. No, I was saying I think it's a testament to the guys in the league, the pitching in this league. I mean, all these guys like Gene, they figured out our lineup. They figured out how to pitch to us, and the pitches that I struggle with, that that other guys in the lineup struggle with, and there's been some little bit of turnover in our lineup a little bit. The guys are obviously. We're getting older. We're losing a little bit. There's no secret to that.
Little gray,
a little gray, little extra
yeah.
pounds. It's okay.
I didn't have any of this when I started.
So, and definitely, Juan leaving us definitely hurt us. I mean, that was, he was such a threat in the lineup, and he allowed everybody, the allowance to see more fastballs. I mean, nobody wanted to see Juan with bases loaded or runners in scoring position. So yeah, a lot of the guys at the top were getting extra fastballs because of that. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to see Juan. There's like Gene mentioned earlier, sometimes life just catches up to you. We've had some guys out this year with with personal situations, babies being born, people getting married, that sort of thing. So life has kind of caught up to the Padres a little bit this year, and we've had to, like I said earlier, we've had to rely on some of our young guys who it's just a different brand of baseball, right? I mean, I think we have more. I don't know what the statistics would say, but I think we have more team speed this year. We got Willie McBee, we got Manaya, we got Paulino. We got a lot of team speed this year. We have been playing a little bit of small ball, butting guys over, hitting runs. I think we've called more hit and runs this year than we ever have. And having veterans through the lineup mixed with that young speed has allowed us to do that. To play some small ball, to hit a 42 hopper to second base to move that runner over to get that runner in. So it's going to be some of the guys we've been getting together to hit a little bit to make sure our bats are ready. I think you're going to see a good mix of that in the playoffs. We definitely, our power has been lacking over the last several weeks, but I think if we get some guys healthy and get them back in the lineup, I think you're going to see some balls fly out, but you're going to continue to see that young speed as well. So I'm excited about it.
Ya, Tyler nos explica, o sea, los Padres son un equipo totalmente distinto. Un equipo que tenía mucho poder en su line-up con Juan García, Adam, Jonah Crenshaw, Sammy Miranda, Román Marcano. Ahora es un equipo de más velocidad, un equipo que hace correo y batido, hit and run, tocan la bola, roban la base. Un equipo que está cambiando su identidad. Veremos si eso le da el resultado que ellos esperan. Guys, I wanted to ask both of you. Obviously, the first round is not a gimme for anybody, but assuming that you guys move up and you guys take care of business in the first round, looking past that second round, Padres, if you win, you will be facing the winner of the Antwerville Pioneer Series. You know both teams you have played, and then the Rangers will be facing the winner of the Blue Jays and Cross Keys Series. Assuming that you guys pass, and I know it'll be difficult, but let's just for a second assume that you guys won your first round and let me start with you, Gene. What of those two things? What of those two teams, whether it's Cross Keys or Blue Jays, present the biggest challenge for the Rangers?
How many game series is it?
There's 5 games in the second round.
Okay, Rangers in 3. I mean, that's the plan. I don't. The dynamics of the Blue Jays versus the White Sox. The White Sox, they have all that team speed. They've got pesky hitters. They're going to hustle. They're not going to quit. The Blue Jays have had a good year. They've got great pitching, but they didn't pitch against us all year. So, they're hitting. I don't know who their best hitter is, Tim. So, like I said, like Rangers in 3. The thing that Tyler touched on that I think is bringing some of the changes is the familiarity. There's not any mysteries. Nobody's popping up on anybody at this point in the year. You know what I mean? The most of the teams now in the league are established, and even the teams that are starting to get familiarity and learning and figuring out from a baseball standpoint. And it's just that time of year where you put all that stuff together. Your opponent knows you, and then that's where the chess match starts. So, and so I don't look at the White Sox or the Blue Jays as a stronger or not stronger opponent. It's Rangers in 3. We come out and do our thing, and baseball's easy. Hit the ball, catch it.
Nos lo explica Jim claramente. Jim nos dice, si ellos pasan la siguiente ronda y se tienen que enfrentar a los Blue Jays o a los White Sox, no importa. Rangers en 3 juegos va a ganar esa serie, lo garantiza el gran Jim Vinson. Tyler Mitchell, you guys are going to be looking at either Entryville or the Pioneers, 4 against 5, that series, and whoever comes out of that, assuming that you guys pass that first round, who present the biggest challenge for you guys, between those two teams?
When you were going through that, my first thought was I definitely don't want to face Randoll. I don't. Randoll behind the plate, you get your pitching staff, you keep those guys in line, and I know Facebook's going to blow up about this, but I definitely think that Anterville is the more experienced team as far as baseball goes. You guys have a lot of experience on that team. A lot of guys that have played at the next level or at the high levels. You got some big bats in that lineup. I mean, some scary bats. So you got Juan who. He knows our pitching staff. At any point, he could be looking, for the exact pitch and could change the game. Eddie's another guy. He can leave the yard literally 4 times a game. Especially depending on what park we're playing at. That your lineup could be super scary. There's rumors that Craig Stem might be coming back. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see if you guys get him back and he can change the game. That's an automatic win or at least he's going to keep you in the game for 6-7 innings for sure. So I would definitely say that again, Padres in 3. I'm going to go with Gene there. Padres in 3, no matter what. I got all the confidence in the world in our guys. But definitely, I think Asheville presents the bigger challenge there. Just with lineup and some of the bats that you present in the lineup, and then the baseball knowledge that you and that Jason bring, leading that team. So.
Well, and if I may speak that point, Tyler, truth be told, yes, obviously our teams, that's who we're shooting for. But in my true opinion, that between Asheville, the Blue Jays, the Padres, and the Rangers, if those guys end up facing each other, you can't call any of that an upset. I think that on the right set of days with who they can show up and bring on the mound, the team they can put together and the experience, any of those 4 teams can come out on top. I think Antroville is probably the biggest dark horse threat. If they can find that consistency and then they show up to start whacking the ball everywhere, and then one thing I want to throw out there, we're talking way ahead, but if anybody paid attention to the Astros and who they put on the field this weekend, I didn't expect those boys to roll over, and they didn't. Sometimes change brings about good adjustments. Sometimes change brings about its addition by subtraction, a Patrick Ewing theory. Maybe me and Luke leaving opened up the door for them to find some folks. We're old veterans. Maybe we suck now. I don't know. But in all seriousness, like that's a team there that is another one that can surprise stuff as it comes up through the rounds. So I guess there's my power rankings for the playoffs, but but like I say, but Padres in 3, Rangers in 3, but those 4 teams are Blue Jays, Pioneers. I think that's it right there. That's what you're looking at.
Great point, guys. Bueno, Tyler y Jean nos explican que si ya sean Antreville o Pioneers pasan la siguiente ronda, Tyler nos explica que los Pioneers con su picheo y el bateo representan un poquito más de riesgo, pero que Antreville es un equipo totalmente capaz también de hacer las cosas muy bien y todo puede pasar, pero el picheo, el conocimiento que tienen los Pioneers, la familiaridad que tienen los Pioneers y Antreville, de esos dos equipos, Tyler siente que los Pioneers presentan un riesgo más grande. Guys, last question before I let you guys go. We already did the first round. We did the second round. We got to talk about the third round, right? I mean, both of you guys are division champions. Obviously, Rangers and Padres was a very exciting final last year. Gene, let me start with you. Do you think Rangers will be back in the finals and bring that title to Rangers Nation this year?
Is that a 5-game series, or do we have to win 4? I mean, like that. It's the same plan. In my mind, that's the matchup. That's that's what I would like to see that. I think it's, we're on the podcast, so we can say that. I don't think you can overlook the other 2 teams. I'd love to see a Rangers Padres final. Down with the evil empire. Like let's go. The Rangers are catching lightning in a bottle. We're catching our momentum. I know. I see them. You're only going to have 3. I need 1.
They're fun. They're fun.
Yeah, no, they are. So yeah, that's obviously what the Rangers are hoping for. That's what we're prepared for. Just meeting a lot of these guys and playing ball with them. But you can tell, especially as it got towards the end of the season, those guys started flipping the switch, and it was like, we had to fill each other out. Everybody had to know what to do. It's a long year. You can't win them all, but I really think we've clicked some things together. I'm looking forward to seeing the Padres there if the Blue Jays or the Pioneers don't ruin our plans, which is totally possible.
Tyler, 3-time champions. Nothing lasts forever in life. You guys have expanded that. I mean, first year, second year, third year. Now you're looking at an unprecedented 4 championships in a row. I don't think that's ever done here in the upstate. There's enough motivation for you guys, but do you see the Padres defending and coming on top of the end of this season with a 4th championship?
Absolutely. No, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't dare say anything else. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would definitely lavish another Rangers Padres. I think anybody that was involved in that series last year, and Gene, I hope that you get to experience that this year. Anybody that was in that series last year, or a fan of that series, I mean, I think you truly saw quote unquote semi-professional baseball matchup. I mean, there was great baseball. There was a couple of games that got a little lopsided there, but in every matchup, games 1 through, I think we played a 5-game series if I'm correct. All 5 games were unbelievable. At any point, I mean, there was lead changes. I mean, there was guys throwing absolute heat coming in on both sides. It's definitely some of the most fun I've ever had playing baseball, to be honest with you. That was what, three great weekends of baseball. And I'm definitely looking forward to it again. I mean, Rangers are bringing more weapons this year. And I got a lot of buddies over there, a lot of guys I've played with, in high school and college, and now in the PBA, and I'm looking forward to another matchup with them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun couple of months here, and hopefully it all culminates with another Padre ring.
Tyler,
Hit the button, baby. Hit the button.
Quieren los Padres, los Rangers, los Padres. La revancha será este año, o tal vez hayan equipos como los Blue Jays, Pioneers, Anthravilles and Braves, o Cross Keys, o los Astros, o los Dewey Royals, o los Yankees, o los Red Sox. Cualquiera de esos equipos tal vez tenga algo que decir, pero de momento Jim Vinson nos anticipa Rangers campeones, Tyler Mitchell nos dice Padres campeones. No sabemos qué es lo que va a pasar, pero estaremos entonces en sintonía. Guys, you are the best. Thank you so much for taking the time. I didn't want to let you go before I say congratulations to both of you. I know in the personal level, great accomplishment. Tyler, you got married. I had a chance to meet you when you were not married, and I seen you getting there. So I give your lovely wife a hug from the PBA and Espanol staff. And brother, you guys do an amazing couple. Gene, we're going to be waiting for the invitation to PBA in Espanol for December. Go to your wedding. I'm so excited for you, my friend, because I've seen that from the time that you came to the league. Such a great family man with your mother always supporting you. And now you have more fans. Gene Vinson is bringing more fans. He's got his fiance. So, guys, congratulations. Most respect. I enjoy playing against you guys and learning and seeing how both of you compete. So I wish you best of luck in your playoff, and hopefully it's the best ever for you guys individually and also with your teams. So thank you for being here tonight. Nos despedimos del gran Jim Vinson. Le damos las gracias a Tyler Mitchell por estar en el show. Tyler se casó recientemente con su prometida, ahora su esposa, y Jim Vinson se estará casando en diciembre de este año también. Guys, thank you so much. With that, I say goodbye. Thanks for taking the time. Thank you for all of you watching. Thank you for our sponsors. Obviously, Creekside Dental for helping us put this together for you. Tipsy Taco in Woodruff, always supporting us. Also, my friends at Amazing Grace Tires for helping put this show together. And also, my friend at Navis Creation for helping me with all my haircuts and all the look that you guys see here that hopefully you guys like. And then thank you to Jason Wyatt Production. You might not see Jason, but Jason put it all together for you guys. So with that, we say goodbye. Buenas noches, mi gente. Los esperamos en la otra edición. Espero que lo hayan disfrutado. Muchas gracias. PBA en español. Suerte en los playoffs. Estaremos en contacto. Gracias. Buenas noches. Gracias, Jason Wyatt. Nos vemos.